I just had to jump on here right now and speak directly to something I just heard. It's an expression. It's an expression you've maybe even said yourself. You've certainly heard it. I've used it myself in the past. I look back now with no self-judgment, but I've just had enough with this expression, so I had to jump on here. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. We've all heard some version of this, and I think it's crap. I think it's garbage. I think it's worse than garbage because it actually pretends to speak to some very important things that really lie at the nature, the core of the human soul, this idea of change, this idea of learning. And so I just want to speak to that and say, doing the same thing over and over again, we don't expect different results. We hope. We're hoping. Expecting sounds like we're kind of sitting on the sidelines of our own lives with a clipboard making annotations. No, if you're living your life, you've got flesh in the game. You're out there, you're slogging. Life is hard. You're trying to make shifts. You're feeling frustrated. Maybe you're feeling angry. Maybe you're feeling, abandoned. Maybe you wonder what's the meaning of all this. So I don't think we're expecting, we're hoping. And doing the same thing over and over again is not only not insane, it's what we all do. You can't call it all insane. It's human. It's how we're hardwired. I mean, go back to Freud again. History is destiny, which means, of course, that what you've done before, you're probably going to do again. And to dismiss all that and suggest not only to imply that it's avoidable, but that if you don't, you're crazy. So no. If you're trying, we don't even know what we want half the time, right? But we're trying to make this thing happen. We're hoping this can happen, bring this into our lives, create an experience for ourselves. And we're going to try doing it this way, because this is what we know. This is our parenting. This is our education, whatever. We're going to try this way. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. If you then try any other way, I think you deserve credit, man. That's awesome, trying a different way. When you're probably hardwired to try it the one way, here you are trying a different way. Amazing. I mean, if you can try something, figure out it doesn't work, scratch it off the list and look at that blank page and go, I'm going to try this way. I think it's incredible. Many of the world's most powerful and effective people are able to actually do it again. They cross out number 2, they try number 3. This requires imagination. This requires thick skin. I mean, you're still at it, number 3. And many of the most effective people, what they do is they continue to do that. They work the problem. They're able to bring a strategic, self-reflective, self-aware component into their lives. It's certainly something I'm trying to do, something I encourage you to try to do. Banging your head against the wall, doing the same thing or the same 2 things, and just, what's amazing and unfortunate with humans, and obviously including myself, is that we'll try a thing, it won't work. We'll try it this way, it won't work. We'll try it this way, it won't work. And our next one? The same as number 1. We're back to that, as if we're doing something different, right? It's this loop. But if you can somehow balance things, so you go, okay, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't, and take a break. Rethink it. Because what you're going to find is, weirdly, at a point, when you start trying approaches that don't even really make sense to you, really, that require a bit of faith that you see somebody else do, or somebody suggests, and you say, well, I don't really get how that's going to work. But that's when you really start learning. That's when you can break out of your box, this box that, is designed to probably relatively easily achieve certain things, but then other things are very hard given the limits of this little box. You have to break out of the box. But if you're certain, if when someone suggests something to you, you go, of course, that's what I'm going to do now. If it's an easy fit, if it doesn't seem like a bit of a stretch of the imagination for you, chances are you've already tried it. It's still within the box or a minor variation and will not yield the results that you're hoping for. So there's that leap of faith. So there's that imagination required. So all of which to say, please consider this thing about doing the same thing over and over again as definition of insanity. That's crap. We have to have more compassion for ourselves, more compassion for each other. I believe, and this totally changed my life, really did, when I at some point grabbed onto this, held this, nurtured it, and it became my own. This idea that most people really are trying their best. A bunch of you hear me say that and you go, nah, You judge other people. Or in fact, what's comfortable for you, what's allowed you to accept things in other people in your own experience, is this assumption that, man, if only she would try a little bit harder. One day when he really tries, it'll... You don't know. That kind of stuff really requires you to have an x-ray of someone's soul that you'll never have. So, I have found that if you hold this idea that, most people really are trying their best, and when you approach people with that, it's amazing, because then you'll find in conversations, and when you look at people, that what is revealed to you is the truth of that most people really are trying their best. So in the same way, I bet you're really pretty much trying your best, and we need to be compassionate. We need to be gentle. We need to cut ourselves a break, as opposed to this idea, if you're crazy, you do the same thing over and over again. So do continue to try different approaches, different things. Try to be mindful of the stuff you're doing again and again, for sure. Just breaks your heart, man. It just makes it all that much harder, right? Good luck with it today, okay? Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Good luck, good luck.